Okay, I'm back on the poverty of irresponsibility. I was thinking about it and that short didn't do enough justice. So here's my attempt to give a little bit more about the poverty of irresponsibility. I don't pay my bills, I'm in debt. I use too much credit, I'm in debt. I do emotional spending instead of deal with the issue that I'm really having. Spending over my budget. I don't take care of other folks' stuff, so people don't want to deal with me on certain levels. I borrow so much, people don't like to hear me coming. Every time I call, it's like, okay, what they want now? Especially when there's no exchange. Now, when people are when they're giving, it's called relay. And therefore you can build a relationship because of the give and take. When I get mad and I throw a fit and tear up everything, I'm not being responsible for my emotions or the property that I'm around. So let's think about this. Let's flip it. What are some pros? I'm talking about all the negatives. And let me get this out on the negative side. So many people, and I'm not saying most, I say just there are several people who have the mind that because they are not in the position of the landlord and they are the renter or the lessee, that the landlord is just a super rich person versus somebody who's made a financial move to establish themselves in a certain position. So with these mindsets that, you know, these people rich and it don't matter what I do, I can just tear up anything, they got money to fix it. Well, it's not always the case. If you rent somebody's house out, and especially if it was a family house or something like that, some people take that stuff personal and they will take you to court and hunt you down for their money and for a restoration of a facility that you tore up. I mean, I've been in places where people, because they didn't pay their rent, whether property that I've managed or property that I have had to come behind and repair, people have stopped up the water, flooded out the house on purpose, left all sorts of human refuse all over the house, as well as animal refuse. And I ain't just talking about dogs, cats, rats, and bats. Just all sorts that have been allowed to come in the house. Just destroyed a person's home because they wouldn't pay their rent. So let's look on the flip side. The prosperity mind says, I take care of other people's things. Oh my God. I don't just tear up people's stuff. So when you have the mind that you can take care of other people's stuff, then you are sowing seed to have your own. But or to have grace the few times that you may have a situation where you can't pay your own rent or something like that. I mean, at the end of the day, people, we all gonna get older or die. One of the two. You gonna get older or die. So as your body is not able to hustle, grind, move, and shake the way it used to, what are you doing to be established so that you don't have to grind, hustle, and do all the other stuff? I mean, you can live this willy-nilly nice lifestyle that says I can do whatever I want whenever I want, or you can take responsibility and establish some good credit, pay your bills on time, return people's property better than it was when they gave it to you, or at least at the same condition that they gave it to you. I mean, these are just things that are just good character and good seeds to sow for your life. And this is about your life. This is not about anything personal. This is about your life. Well, I guess that is personal, your life, but I just look at both sides of the situation. it costs anywhere from $250 to $750 just for an application fee, not including first month's rent and deposit, just to put an application in. So I look at people being evicted, and there is a lot of lag time in evictions right now, which is sad because people who paying mortgages on their property, they catching it, because guess what? Nobody has time. No, I mean, they're losing income and having to use other resources to pay the mortgage for a house that they're renting out to a customer. So I'm just gonna say, think about the seed time, harvest time. Think about the seeds you sown. Think about where you want to be in life. Just think before you keep tearing up people's stuff, because it is not fair to you or you long term, or especially the landlord, to just tear up people's stuff. You're in a position of renting because you chose to, for whatever reason. Whether you chose not to advance yourself or whatever you did, you made a choice in life to be where you are. Even if you don't feel like you made a choice, you made a choice. And that's not an elite mindset. It's a adult mindset. At some point you should grow up. I'm not saying what you have to do, because that's a choice too. You should grow up. Stop having children all over the place with multiple co-parents. Hey, I'm talking about myself too. That's why I'm not having no more kids. You know, because when you have a split home, you have no foundation to invest in. You have no mutual partner in which you can establish, you know, without having to pay child support, or have the lack of somebody to support you and move forward. I mean, folks, life out here is hard, and irresponsible decisions create irresponsible debts and situations that just don't work out to your best interest all the time. So, I mean, I'm not trying to talk about co-parenting so much. I mean, yeah, we all have made some decisions that we may not have been able to live with. So we made a decision to split. And that's not the focus of this conversation, but it does talk about irresponsibility and the poverty mindset. The prosperity mindset, stick it out, work it together. First, pick somebody worth working it out and sticking it out with. Investigate enough before you start having sexual relationships with somebody, and then you figure, oh, I don't like this person. What's this person's pattern? Does this person's pattern and moves say that they are a stable person? Like, what is being established with this person? What has happened with them in the past? Have they shown a pattern of change? And it don't take rocket science to figure out that somebody for you or not. It's just you spoil in what you want right now instead of investing and sacrificing for the long term. So live and learn, or keep burning. Keep burning. Keep burning bridges. Keep frustrating yourself. Keep going down roads that end up in dead ends. By choice. By choice. We choose to be responsible, respond in a way that takes action for the best out of the situation, and not the worst. If God promised better, where's the God in you giving better? If God said be patient, where's your patience in you to help you grow through life? Life, not existing, not just sucking out. Not sitting around here having frustrating experiences, looking at the next man and like, oh man, he got that. Man, I wish I. You don't have to be the jealous hearted person Wishing you coulda, shoulda, woulda. When you have opportunities and a all-powerful God who can bless you in ways that amaze. Woo! All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to cut this one short, but I'll leave some scriptures in on the poverty mind and on poverty and prosperity. Y'all take care.